Mysteries are all around us, and with mysteries come discoveries. Sometimes secrets lie dormant for thousands of years until we uncover their truths. Likewise, as we develop as a species, our technology develops with us. What future mysteries will be unfurled? So today, here at Unexplained Mysteries, we will be taking a look at 3 interesting discoveries. Scientists reveal aliens might message us with encoded DNA. Contact with extraterrestrial life is a highly debated topic, not just within scientific and academic circles. Tons of research efforts have been poured into looking to contact alternate life forms or even locate life elsewhere. And plenty have questioned if contacting these aliens would be a wise idea, that is, if they are there at all. However, research developments in DNA sequencing have pushed people to ask the question, could aliens be communicating to us through the DNA of bacteria? This theory has actually been in discussion for decades, with members of the Search for Extraterrestrial Intelligence or SETI community posing some interesting insights. Despite these debates having existed for a while, these concepts and ideas were largely hypothetical. Though following the sequencing of the human genome marked in 2003 with the completion of the Human Genome Project, we know we are able to look for patterns within DNA strands, so why not codes? We also know that bacteria in space has a long travel time and is capable of being fired great distances, light years away from where they began. This means that bacteria could act as good hosts for messages, with aliens being able to send messages to us from afar, trusting their notes will make it a good way through the universe. Robert Zubrin spoke at the Breakthrough Discuss 2019 conference at the University of California to discuss the plausibility of communicating through encoded DNA. He is also an astronautical engineer. He said, whilst explaining how the tiny microbial bacteria could break the gravitational force of the stars they reside with, that F, G, and K spectral type stars could allow bacteria to break away. These stars are typically the brighter ones in the sky. He goes on to explain that other stars may struggle to push the bacteria outside of their own solar systems, preventing the interstellar space travel needed to receive alien codes. Zubrin did, however, cite a paper that theorized that if a bacterial colony was strongly magnetized, then it could create a miniature magnetic sail. This gives the bacteria the potential to gain a 500 km per second solar wind, enough to move it out of the solar system with ease. Of course, this is all hypothetical, and there are a great number of other theories speculating as to how this is possible at all. Unfortunately, there are not any certain answers. In regard to the content of these possible messages, we know based on research conducted a little closer to home that we are able to encode bacterial DNA with information. The New York Genome Project was able to encode 215,000 terabytes of information per gram of DNA. An individual bacterium usually ranges between 1 and 10 millionths of a meter, giving plenty of room to code in a bacterial colony. As of 2019, it was considered realistic to encode some with 900 terabytes of data, which, when given some context, is ginormous. Zubrin likens this data size to 2,200,000,000-page books. Zubrin suggests that the next step in this research is to begin looking for encoded microbes around us. He suggests exposing bacteria to, as he describes, space conditions to see which bacterium would be best suited and adapted for flight and to survive in various conditions. Any anomalous microbes in our stratosphere could be worth investigating further. Deep in the Pentagon, a secret AI program to find hidden nuclear missiles. The US military is expanding spending on a mysterious exploration exertion to utilize man-made reasoning to assist with expecting the dispatch of an atomic-competent rocket, just as track and target versatile launchers in North Korea and elsewhere. The exertion has gone to a great extent unreported, and a couple of openly accessible insights regarding it are covered under a layer of close to impervious language in the most recent Pentagon financial plan. Yet, US authorities acquainted with the exploration told Reuters there are different arranged projects currently under approach to investigate how to foster AI-driven frameworks to more readily secure the United States against a potential atomic rocket strike. On the off chance that the exploration is effective, such PC frameworks would have the option to have an independent mind, scouring colossal measures of information, including satellite symbolism, with a speed and precision past the ability of people to search for indications of arrangements for a rocket dispatch, as per the greater part 12 sources. The sources included US authorities, who talked about the state of namelessness on the grounds that the exploration is grouped. Cautioned, the US government would have the option to seek conciliatory alternatives, or, on account of an impending assault, the military would have more opportunity to attempt to annihilate the rockets before they were dispatched or attempt to capture them. We ought to do our best to find that rocket before they dispatch it and make it progressively harder to get it off the ground, one of the authorities said. The Trump organization had proposed dramatically multiplying subsidizing in the following year's financial plan to $83 million for only one of the AI-driven rocket programs, as indicated by a few US authorities and spending reports. The lift in financing has not been recently announced. While the sum is still moderately little, it is one marker of the developing significance of the examination on AI-fueled enemies of rocket frameworks when the United States faces an all the more military self-assured Russia and a huge atomic weapons danger from long-lasting adversary, North Korea. What AI and AI permit you to do is discover the needle in the sheath, said Bob Work, a boss of AI innovation who was Agent Guard Secretary until last July, without alluding to any individual undertakings. One individual acquainted with the project said it incorporates a pilot projected zeroed in on North Korea. Washington is progressively worried about Pyongyang's improvement of portable rockets that can be stowed away in passages, timberlands, and caverns. The presence of a North Korea-centered venture has not been recently announced. While that venture has been left well enough alone, the military has been clear about its advantage in AI. The Pentagon, for instance, has revealed it is utilizing AI to recognize objects from video assembled in its robot program, as a component of a freely promoted exertion dispatched last year called Task Maven. In any case, some US authorities say AI spending, generally speaking, on military projects remains horribly lacking. Cambridge scientists bioengineer little dinosaurs. Advancing technologies have huge implications for science and our knowledge and understanding of the world around us. One of these advances makes our world feel almost as though it were straight out of a science fiction novel. New biotechnology startup DinoDNA has teamed up with Cambridge scientists to attempt to bioengineer actual miniature dinosaurs. After securing an initial investment of over $34 million, the scientists at DinoDNA revealed their master plan. They will be attempting to recreate tiny versions of the prehistoric animals by piecing together existing fragments of DNA taken from fossilized skeletons. Shockingly, bringing back dinosaurs from the dead is not a novel concept. In fact, it was popularized in the scientific community by a book written by paleontologist Jack Horner in 2009, in which he suggested that the DNA of a chicken could be used as a base upon which old dinosaur DNA could be applied and used to recreate those long-gone creatures. It seems that this is actually a viable option given the advanced technology that scientists have access to today, although it is uncertain whether it is the route that DinoDNA will be taking. The chief scientific officer of the DinoDNA project, Dr. Ohm, has said that it might sound like science fiction, but genetic engineering technology has advanced so rapidly that we are quite confident our first dinosaurs will walk the earth this summer. But he elaborated that safety is, of course, paramount, and so we have chosen a species that is small and friendly. Scientists working on the project have said that they hope that the creatures will be able to roam within the bounds of enclosed spaces where the public can interact with them. They chose to recreate a Compsognathus. that is on the smaller side and appears to have been relatively harmless, in the hopes that it will be friendly and could even be intelligent enough to master tasks such as collecting litter in parks or stray balls at a sporting event. Although Compsognathus would only grow to be the size of a turkey, it remains to be seen whether it will truly be harmless walking around amongst society. Mainly, scientists wish to use the Frankenstein dino for research as a representation of its much larger family members and fellow extinct Earth dwellers. In the meantime, should such a far-fetched sounding experiment actually succeed, researchers are planning to implement strict rules and regulations to eliminate the possibility of a rogue dinosaur escape and the potential for an invasive, genetically modified species to be let loose on Earth's modern-day wildlife. However, the operation has been undertaken under the utmost secrecy for security and information privacy concerns, as it is likely that there are several agencies that would love to get their hands on a real-life tiny dinosaur. As such, the location of the research facility that will be attempting to recreate prehistoric life, as well as the actual processes that will be undertaken in order to go from hundreds of millions of years old dinosaur DNA fragments to an actual living, breathing dinosaur, are being kept tightly under wraps. So, for the time being, we must wait and see whether or not the future of the world includes dinosaurs walking on the Earth once again. But what do you make of these interesting discoveries? Be sure to let us know your thoughts in the comment section below and help us by growing this community while working to solve these unexplained mysteries. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos.